live. Welcome back to Mezcla of Moguls. It's your boy, the one with the scar on his face, your boy Scarface, and welcome back to another episode. And I want to thank you guys for always tuning in, always supporting the podcast, always shout out to the people that come over from TikTok. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming. Your support means the world to me. So wherever you guys are listening to, if you guys can give us a thumbs up, 5-star rating, whatever the case may be, it helps the podcast out a lot. So please, if you can, share it with your friends, and if you know somebody that will benefit from it, please share it to them. So, and again, thank you guys. Excuse me. Shout out to everyone who comes from the podcast. And since you guys always supporting the podcast, we got voted for the best podcast here in Idaho Falls. So if you guys can, I'm going to link it down below. If you guys can go give us a vote real quick, I would truly do appreciate it. That way we can win. I won last year. Maybe we can do back to back. You know what I mean? Then I'll go get 2 rings. But please go vote if you can. Also, I was nominated for the best photographer too. So if you have a chance, if you're going to vote for best podcast, slide over to professional services and I'll also link it too. But best photographer, if you can, I would really do appreciate it. If you can vote every day up until, I forgot the date, but thank you guys again. Thank you. Without you guys, we wouldn't be doing this, and we wouldn't be this far. So, I wanted to do this podcast because it's getting warmer outside. People are outside. We outside. But just because you're outside, it also means your partner is outside. Okay. Your partner is more likely to be outside. So, one of the things that's been super popular in the lives that I've been doing is people wondering where people go to cheat, right? Not necessarily cheat, but where it could start beginning, right? Oh, we're gonna do this and before I get into it, it's mainly gonna be places where they frequent a lot. So work, gym, and places like that. So I know I'm gonna go into depth into all of them. I have a list of here, the top 10 places, but just know that. And I have a bonus one at the end too as well. So just know most of the time it's places where they frequent a lot. So just remember that. But we're going to get into it. So this is the top 10 places that somebody's going to go to possibly cheat. So let's get into it. Number 1 is the workplace. And people, it's funny because we, in the TikToks, a lot of people are like, oh, my husband cheated on with somebody at work. My girl cheated with somebody at work. Like I said, it's somewhere where you frequent a lot. And where do you frequent a lot? Your job. So think about it. You're probably staying in these places. Like when you go to work, say you go to work, right? You have a job. You're a DMV, right? Because I need to go to the DMV. DMV, there's people working there. There's guys, girls working there, right? You go there every day. You're there from 9 to 5. Most of the time you're there more than what you are at home, or more than you see your girl, okay? Or your guy. And so if they're there a lot of times, they're spending a lot of time. So spending long hours together and forming close relationships at work can sometimes lead to affairs, because it's natural to become friends with people you work with. You see them every day. You start talking to them. You build that environment gets built, that culture. But some people take that a little too far, and it could be that they're not getting the attention at home, or they like that excitement of somebody actually chasing them or trying to, making them feel a certain way. So that's why sometimes they cheat. So workplace, work husband, work wife, whatever the case may be, red flag. If a girl told me that she had a work husband, but it was just like a friend thing, nah, hell no. You were gonna divorce his ass. Nah, that would just be a huge red flag to me right away, instantly. So again, most of the time it's gonna be where they frequent a lot, and the workplace, again, it happens. Like I said, you're there for a long period of time. Think about it. If you were working 8-hour shift, okay, and you're sleeping 8 hours, that's 16 hours out of your day, So now, if you go even to the gym, you're still away from your partner. If you go and go and do something, you're away from your partner still. So you're essentially spending more time with the people that you are with at work. So pay attention to that. It could be, I'm not saying everybody is cheating at work. I'm okay. Don't go and accuse whoever you're with. Be like, yo, you're cheating with somebody at work. No. It's really hard to because you can't necessarily tell them like, no, don't be friends with your coworkers or don't have conversations. Like it's only about work. Like you've had a job, like when there's other people, you go, you talk to them, you have conversations, you get to like it's just a work environment. Like that's what happens. But the thing is like having that discipline of taking it too far. And most people take it too, a lot of people take it too far. I wouldn't say most people take it too far. So just pay attention to that. Number 2 is social events. Parties, gatherings, and social events where alcohol is involved can lower inhibitions and increase the likelihood of infidelity. So, and it's true, like say you're going somewhere, you go like without your, that's why like, I get it. That's why some girls and some guys get weird about their guy going to a bar, going to a social event where they're going to get pretty lit. And then all of a sudden, because if you get pretty lit, sometimes things happen, right? And things happen could mean like you hook up with somebody, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not saying don't let your person go have their guys' night, girls' night. Of course, again, it comes down to that person and their discipline. Like if I'm with somebody and I go and hang out with my boys, I'm not there. Like I know I have this person here that has trusted me to go out with my friends, and it's my responsibility to just make sure, like, of course, like girls walk by or there's a hot girl, you're gonna look at them. Like the same thing happens with girls. Like a hot guy walks by, girls pay attention to him, but they have that discipline. Like they'll be like, no, I got, yeah, he's a good looking guy, but I got an amazing man at home. I have an amazing girl at home. So that's why like take all these with a grain of salt, just because it can happen there. This is just to give you ideas. Like if your partner is frequent or like has a special friend that goes to events or like the workplace, so pay attention to that. And it comes down to discipline. Like I've never had alcohol and like been in a relationship and gone somewhere and been like, yo, I'm going to hook up with this girl or I'm going to try to talk to this girl. I've always had that discipline of just like, yeah, I'm pretty lit. She good looking, but I have a beautiful girlfriend. Like, I'm not going to do that. Right. So like when you do that, it helps your self-conscious believe that your partner's also doing the same. Because if you're out doing shady stuff, you automatically assume that since you're doing shady stuff, your girl's out doing shady stuff or your guy. So just pay attention to those. Not every social event. Like girls go to concerts, guys go to the concerts with their boys. Like it's really hard to pick up a girl or a guy at a concert unless they're like close by to you, because sometimes you see a girl and she's like far away and you're like, damn, she's fine, but I can't go over there. So take it with a grain of salt. Number 3 that we have is online platforms. Dating apps, social media, and online forums provide opportunities individuals to connect with others outside of their committed relationships. That's why like a lot of people hate social media, like especially if they're in a relationship. My guy's liking all these naked girl photos. He comments things every now and then. And I'm sure girls do it too. It goes both ways. I'm not saying like both people in this relationship are doing it. It just, like I've had the questions on TikTok. People are like, what should I do if my man's doing that? Tell him, like, nip it in the bud as soon as you can, because the longer you wait, the more comfortable he's going to get. And so when you finally decide to bring it up, he's going to be like, man, I've been doing it this whole time, but now it's a problem. Like, why is it bugging you now? That's why like this one's hard, because there's so many pros and cons about dating, or not dating apps, but online platforms, social media. Social media, you can grow a business right away, like instantly, like, or really big, faster than you could just having like a store in the mall or something like that, or building like some sort of like influencer, like some sort of like social media person. You can grow so many things. Like there's so many good things about social media, but of course there's also, to every good there's a bad, right? So the good thing like I like is you can meet girls. I can meet girls online that I would have never met before, right? Just because before, like obviously like old school people, like old school, like you had to go somewhere, you had to meet them in person, you had to talk to them in person, and then go from there. It's not like you were looking through Facebook or Instagram and saw some girl and was like, yo, what's up? No, like now you can do that, but before you couldn't. But that's what I mean. You're able to meet so many people that you would have probably never met because of social media, and people have built great relationships because of it. You know, so that's why like I'm saying it's good, but it's also bad because there's so many people on social media. So like if somebody's in a great relation or in a relationship and say they're not super happy, or some issues are going on, they're scrolling social media, they see a beautiful girl, boom, they like their photo, they try to like message them, like slowly things lead to that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, but that's gonna happen with everything. To everything that there's a good things about, there's gonna be good bad things about it. Same with money. There's good things about money and there's bad things about money. Good things, you can do a lot of stuff with money. Bad things, it changes people, sometimes. And you can also do bad stuff with money. You can pay somebody, hey, yo, go do that. Like, uh, for example, the whole thing about Chris Brown right now in Quavo, allegedly he went and like paid or bought a bunch of tickets from his concert, and their little brat beef. You can see that as a good and a bad way. Like they're beefing right now or they're going back and forth. But you can do harm with money too. So, but the same with social media, like the dating apps. I'm not saying don't do them. People ask me all the time on the lives, on the questions, what do you think about social or dating apps? You're gonna find people who are looking to hook up. They're engaged. They're married. But you're also gonna find single people that you really don't connect with. Uh, so that, and there's people, I know someone that I've said it before. They met on Tinder, are married now. Great relationship, because it can be a good thing. It's not necessarily always a bad thing. It's just, it's really hard because you can't really tell. If you see someone who's married, is married on there, don't message them. Come on now. So that's why like dating apps, it's a hit or miss, but you're gonna have the same thing in person. Like say you go out somewhere, right, and you meet a guy and you're like, oh, he's amazing, this is and that. And then later on, after you guys been on a few dates or maybe even hooked up, you find out he's in a relationship, he's married, or something like that. It can happen in person too. Like it doesn't necessarily come straight from social media, dating apps. And social media is also like another, I've never met someone from a dating app. I've only met girls from either Instagram or TikTok. Like that's it, or Facebook. But I really don't get on Facebook. But those can also be dating apps. Like you see people, you message a fine girl, and you be like, "Damn, like, what's up, girl?" Like people act like I'm the only one that does that shit. Everybody does it if they're single, even if they're married. So there's that. So again, I wouldn't also like, don't do the shared profiles. Like that is the dumbest thing ever. Like if you have to get to the point where you're sharing a profile, like there's something going on. Somebody did something. Oh, so yeah, social media, it can be good and bad. Hopefully your partner's not using it for bad. And if they are like liking girl stuff, maybe even commenting, nip it in the bud right away, because the faster you can just like, bah, now, like if I'm into a girl and we're talking and everything, and she saw that I liked the photo or something, and she was like, "Hey, I don't like that you're doing that," plus you don't even know this girl. Like, is that what you like? I'd be like, "Ah, shit, my bad." I ain't trying to mess this up, so I'm gonna fix that. But if I'm not really into him, I'm just gonna be like, "All right, whatever." And like, what are you tripping about? So, number 4, traveling. Business trips or vacations can create opportunities for infidelity due to the distance from partners and the freedom associated with being away from home. We're not saying everybody's cheating that goes on traveling business, but it's a little easier to say you're from Idaho, right? And I have a business trip to go to Florida, right? I'm dating a girl, say locally, right? She don't know a lot of people out there. And so if you're out there, you're just like, all right, cool. Like I'm single here. So it could happen, but I'm not saying that everybody's doing that. Again, people get mad because they're like, you need to stop saying that every guy. No, not every guy is like that. Not every girl is like that. Sometimes it's fun to go and take a trip with your boys, with your girls, and go have fun. But again, it comes down to having that discipline. Like if you do go, you see some hot girls, You have to have that discipline being like, yeah, they're good looking, but I got a beautiful girl at home, or hey, like that's a good looking guy. Because trust me, girls will be checking guys out too. Okay, even if they're in a relationship, they talk about it amongst themselves. Okay, I, I ain't dumb. Guys do the same thing. Okay, but the thing is like having that discipline of not approaching them, not trying to get at, or if they approach you, having that discipline, being like, being nice. If I'm in a relationship and a girl comes up to me and like starts flirting with me or something, like I'm gonna be like, hey, like I really do appreciate it. Like you're very beautiful, but I do have a girlfriend or I do have a wife, whatever the case may be. But some people don't want to, nah, because they like that excitement. They like that, like either the chase or they're being chased. So if your man or woman is taking a lot of trips, and goes ghost on you, just saying, why are they not answering? Why are they not responding to you? Why are they always busy? So just pay attention to those little things. But on the traveling part, it's not always that. Like I travel quite a bit, like, and I'm not out here. Well, I'm not in a relationship either, so I'm like I ain't got to report to nobody. But sometimes it's going to create content. That's why I told, like, if I ever start talking to somebody, like I go and do content, I have to talk to other girls. This is how you collaborate, you network, you build relationships. I'm going to be talking to other girls, like, and other girls are going to be talking to me. I'm going to be around that environment. Like it's gonna happen, but you have to be okay with it. Okay. You can't be assuming that I'm always like, oh, you're cheating on me with her. Well, I'm with her. And you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't want somebody like that with me, or like that's going to be with me. Number 5 that we have is gyms or fitness centers. Shared interest and regular attendance at fitness facilities can lead to connections outside of the relationship. And I've seen it before. I know y'all seen it too. People at the gym. That's why, like, if you have to compromise. Because sometimes, say the girl wants to start working out, the guy is like, "No, why you trying to work out?" Like, because she's trying to, she doesn't feel good with herself, doesn't feel confident, and wants to cut some weight. She's not necessarily doing it for somebody else. It's just like an internal thing, like that you want to feel more confident, more, and things like that. So I get it. But if you guys don't go together, like then you guys start, somebody who's there likes the same things and is like working out, and like you guys can like have something in common and be like, hey, like let me spot you real quick, or like things like that. And it's a good place to go, because if we're in a relationship and she doesn't go to the gym, and I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna go to the gym, I'll be back later. She's assuming I'm at the gym working out, but I'm at the gym. Like it got to the point where, say I'm talking to a girl, right? Talking to a girl, and like the reason I go is to go and talk to her and possibly hang out a little bit afterwards, because your girl back home is assuming that you're still at the gym, but or you don't even work out that day. Cause trust me, I seen it with my own eyes. People they're going to go work out, but then they just pull up to the gym and then they leave. I ain't stupid. I be watching. I'm a very observant person. Like I watch a lot of things. Even when you think I'm not watching, I'm watching. Even when like I'm far away, I'm not plotting, but like I'm watching to see like people's behaviors, people's like tendencies, like what they do. Like I'm always watching. That's why when people are like, damn, you notice that? I'm like, yeah. For example, like my buddy, like one time I was looking for someone, and I spotted him like far away, like because I was like kind of like looking in the room, and he's like, how the fuck did you see him? I was like, like I kind of knew who was in the area, and then all of a sudden somebody different popped up. That's just me. I don't know. I'm weird. But gyms and fitness centers, you have to pay attention to, because if you're not into fitness or that, like maybe get into it, compromise with your person, because they're not necessarily going there because they're trying to look good for somebody. It ends up they look good for somebody else because like you're being a slob and they're over here looking good, and they have all these other people trying to get at them, and they're going to like that attention. But if you guys got fit together, then guess what? A fit couple or something like that. So pay attention to that. Number 6 that we have is bars and nightclubs. Nightlife venues offer atmosphere conducive to meeting new people and engaging in flirtatious behavior. Again, alcohol, people start acting a little bit different. Uh, so Jackie had a good point because before I was like, oh, it's a red flag if you meet somebody at a bar or at a club. But she had a good point. She's like, I go with my friends sometimes to like a club or a bar. Not this year. She ain't outside like that this year. Like, I remember when I was talking to her, but she said that she would go and hang out with her friends and family, and she's like, so like I'm not a red flag, so why would if I met somebody there, why would they think I'm a red flag? And vice versa. She's like, some guys sometimes go with their friends, they're celebrating something, they're just boys' night, they're hanging out. He could be a great dude, but obviously they just went to the club or the bar, and it makes sense. Like I could go to the bar or club, and now I'm like, okay, like yeah, I'm not a red flag. Well, I don't think I'm a red flag, but I'm not a red flag, but I'm at the bar, I'm at the club, and I was like, that makes sense. So I kind of changed my view. That's why it's good to have conversations with different people because you can see like a different point of view. Again, before that, I had that conversation with Jackie. I was always like, nah, red flag, bar, club, red flag. And again, it could be a red flag because there's a lot of people who go there and again, alcohol, people are vibing. Like if you're a little lit, they're a little lit. Like, things could happen. You're attracted to this person, they're attracted to you. It could lead to more things. You never know. But again, it comes down to that discipline uh, that that you're not doing that stuff. That discipline of know that you're not doing that stuff. That way you're not accusing your partner of also doing stuff like that. So again, pay attention to that. If they're accusing you of something, always, and you're not doing anything, like what are they doing? Why are they accusing you? Could it be their self-conscious? But again, also it's not always a bad thing because like I've seen girls go out in groups and they just want to hang out. A guy tries to approach them and they're just like kind of like don't really pay attention to them. Of course, it's not just like if a girl were to approach me and I was at a bar or club and I was in a relationship, I wouldn't be like, get away from me. I would be like, oh, hey, like kind of like see what she had to ask me, whatever. And then be like, hey, you know what? I think you're beautiful, but, I have a girlfriend or I have a wife, and same goes with girls is having that discipline to be able to like just stop it, be a decent human being. And like, if they come in up and talk to you, talk to them back. Obviously you don't, again, don't be like, get the fuck away from me. And depending on how they approach you too, like if they approached you all wrong, definitely do that. But again, like, because I've approached girls and like, and they'll be like, hey, like you look like a great guy, but unfortunately, I have a man, and I've also approached girls that I had no idea they had a man and they didn't care. So that's what I'm saying. Like it just, depending on how their relationship is. So that's why a lot of communication goes into play here. So is it a red flag if they want to go to the bars and clubs? Depends. Like, do they go to the club every night or every weekend? Bars every weekend just with their boys and they don't want to take you? That could be a red flag, But if every now and then they want to go, let them hang out. Guys need to hang out with their boys. Girls need to hang out with their girls. Like there's some certain things, the way you can talk to your boys, a certain way you can talk to your girls that you can't talk to your partner with. So, or you know what I mean? Like you just feel comfortable talking to other girls about certain things or other guys about certain things. So number 7, friends' home. Intimate gatherings at friends' homes can provide a more private setting for individuals to engage in fidelity. So I've seen this too. I'm always, if you're going to be shady, and because if somebody's going to be shady or cheat, they're going to do it regardless. Will you do it around me? I'm not going to let it happen. Meaning like, I'm not going to put you in the situation where you are going to be like in the position to cheat, right? If that makes sense. Like I'm not going to be like, hey, like I brought these girls, invited a buddy or something, and told him not to bring his girl because these girls are going to be here. Like I'm not going to do that. If you're going to go and cheat, go and cheat, do your thing. Like, am I going to snitch? It's not my problem. Like it's your guys' relationship. If I know about it, y'all deal with it. But am I going to let it happen around me? No, because I don't want people to be like, yo, the reason we cheat, well, Edgar brought the girls, or Edgar, it was Edgar's thing, and like, I was at Edgar's house and he invited, and stuff like that. I don't want to put people in that situation where they're going to blame me. Okay. Because they're going to blame the single person. They're going to be like, well, shit. And like, that's why like I would not do that. But not everybody is like me. Uh, so you just have to be careful. Like, I mean, because you don't want to tell your friend, your whoever you're with, no, you can't go to your friend's house. Um, it's just like if I were to go to a friend's house and there's gonna be like girls there and stuff like that, I wouldn't mind telling whoever I'm with, be like, yo, I'm gonna go over here. There's gonna be girls there, but just FYI, I'm just letting you know. He invited some girls. I'm not going for that. I'm going to hang out with him. It's like a birthday party or something like that. Or something, as long as you communicate, everything's gonna be great. If she ends up finding out that there's a bunch of girls there, because like the reason I say that is like since I date mainly people who aren't from here, like they need to be comfortable with that, and I'll communicate that with them. So it could be a place, and it also could be a place where like they're allowing that person to cheat at their home, so they'll be like, yeah, go ahead, bring her here. You're safe here. And I get it, like you know how when they say bros before hoes, and stuff like that. But I just don't want to be around that, right? Like, again, like bros before hoes, yeah. If I find out that you're out hanging out with some girl and that's not your girl, do your thing, playboy. Do your thing. Am I gonna go and snitch? Nah, like that's not my problem. That's not my relationship. But I will not let it happen around me. Like say I throw like a fighting party, right? Like, there's a fights, invite some people, and he's like, yo, can I bring so and so? I'd be like, yo, I don't feel comfortable with that because then I can't post stuff on social media. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm heavy on posting content. I just don't want to be told like, no, you can't post this shit. Like, I'd be like, it's my fucking house. But also, I don't want to be associated with that. And like, I don't want to be like, yo, we caught them at Edgar's place. Oh, we caught them at Edgar's thing. So. Definitely not around me, but again, like I said, not everybody is like me. Number 8 is hotels. Whether for business or leisure, hotels offer a level of anonymous and discretion for anonymous meetings. Okay, and this is already if you're to the point of stepping out of your relationship. Like, of course, you're not gonna take them home. I mean, some people do. But a good place to go is like go get a hotel room. So, because I've done it before, you go get a hotel room, nobody's gonna know unless somebody sees you. That's why, like, I remember when I was hooking up with a married girl, right? And obviously, we couldn't go to her place. And at the time, this was like a while back ago. At the time, I was still with my parents. We ended up driving like 45 minutes to another city here and getting a hotel and just like spending the evening or however long we were there. And then we just leave. Like, we wouldn't even stay the night because obviously she had to get home. That way it didn't look like she was out with somebody. Like, sometimes we went during the day. Like, I would like call in sick. She would say she's going to be at work, but call in sick too. And then we would go somewhere. And then, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, trust me. I've known my dirt, but also karma's a bitch. Okay, I know for a fact I paid for that shit. So I mean, it's a good place that people go to cheat is because, again, like if they drive to another city, they get a hotel room, just here spending the night. They're not gonna ask questions like, "Who you with? Is that your wife?" No, they're just gonna give you the room and you're good to go. And sometimes you can just check in without even being at the front door. So like, or like the front. I mean, like Vegas, for example, like there's ways to check in without even having to talk to somebody. Okay. Like we did it last time we went to MGM, and like hotels, like Airbnbs are the same thing. Like I've never met a host like a host greeted me like, welcome to our home. This is your Airbnb. No, it's all through messages. They're not going to sit there and be like, oh, he's there cheating. No, they don't care. As long as they get paid, you do whatever. So just a heads up. Number 9 that we have is secret getaways. Renting private accommodations or visiting scheduled locations can facilitate affairs from prying eyes. Again, I was just talking about that. And they usually do it in a city next, like close by. Because they're thinking, again, like when I would go to a different city, it was like 45 minutes from here. Nobody's going to see us. 45 minutes away, the chances of us being seen are less likely. Okay. And so that's why people do that. They'll usually make accommodations somewhere else, one city over, 2 cities over, or something like that. That way, like they're not traveling too far. And their risk of them getting caught is not as bad. So, just a heads up, planning, like, be like, oh, why are you always going there? Unless you're a real estate agent, that's a little different. Okay. Like real estate agents, we be going all over the place all the time. And the different cities, like over and over and over and over. So just like little secret getaways like that. Again, I mentioned the whole thing of getting like a room, calling sick. We'd go over there, or like get it at night. Like she was out with her friends, but we'd be over there, stay there for a few hours, and then we'd come back, drop her off, and then we would never really stay there. Only times we stayed was like when we went somewhere else. Like I remember we went to California, right? And like she was gonna go on a business trip. So see, y'all getting all this dirt out of me. All right, and the last one that we have is number 10 is home. Unfortunately, some individuals cheat within the comfort of their own homes, whether it be through online interactions or inviting someone over while their partner is away. Oh. Yes, I've been in somebody else's bed. Am I proud of it? No. Again, young Edgar, he didn't give a fuck. He was like, not my problem. I don't care. So like they can even like, this is how you never know. Obviously, like say you're in a relationship, right? You go to work. Your wife is at home. You're thinking she's at home, just doing her thing, staying at home, watching the kids. And you get home and you think everything is good and dandy, right? But sometimes you never know. Like they could have brought somebody home. But again, like pay attention to your relationship first. Don't just like say you have a great relationship. Don't just start accusing them. While I'm at work, you have somebody. No, it usually happens when there's neglect in the relationship. You're not being spicy with them. You're not being intimate with them. You're not giving them the attention that they need. So they end up finding it somewhere else. And if they're not able to leave, sometimes they just bring somebody. They know you're going to be at work. They know we start building habits like, all right, I know he's going to call me at 10. I know he's going to call me at 2. And he's going to be home by 5:30. Right. And so like people plan around that stuff. Like they know your habits because you start doing it every day. But you have to give them the attention, because if you don't want them, obviously like any of these would not happen if you guys communicated, if you guys compromise on things like, and had a great relationship. Like if you guys had a great, like I know some people who have great relationships right now, spicy, they're into each other, they do a lot of stuff together, they date night, adventurous, and their relationship is doing great. So I'm sure if some guy tried to flirt with the girl, she would be like, nah, I'm good. Sorry, I'm in a relationship. And same with the guy, and be like, sorry, I'm good. I have a beautiful girl. It's all about that, having that discipline and just like stopping it and not letting it happen. Okay. That's the biggest thing. Cause like I said it before, if the person is going to cheat, like if in their head, they're already want to cheat, they're going to cheat. They're just going to find the opportunity. Okay. One of these could be the opportunity, but that opportunity or the reason they wanted to cheat was because something else had happened. Maybe they're not happy in the relationship. Could be ego. Maybe they're getting a little older and they want to feel like, damn, I feel like I can still pull girls. Again, like everybody has a different reason. Or they're just not getting that intimacy at home and they're like, damn, like this other person is going to give it to me out here, and what I need, that attention, that affection. Because trust me, everybody needs attention and affection. Okay. Like everybody needs to be intimate, spicy, and don't deprive yourself of it, because then you end up looking somewhere else for that. So again, take all these with a grain of salt. I'm not saying necessarily that this is exactly where they're going to go cheat. And the bonus one that I did have is the park. usually, I don't know why people go to the park and they think that. I mean, what do you guys think? Because a lot of people get caught at the park. You know, there's a lot of people. I mean, it's wide open and stuff like that, but I don't know why people go to parks. Like they feel like a park is going to, they're not going to get caught. Again, depending on the park, some parks are really big, not, depending on who's going to go, but a lot of people go to parks. That's why I'm like, why would they go to a park to cheat? So again, it depends on your area too. Like say you go to a park somewhere else, because of course, like if you don't want to just be cooped up somewhere, in the car somewhere, if you want to go to a park, maybe walk around, hang out, sit down, watch whatever on a bench. So that's why like people end up getting caught at parks. And when I posted that on my Instagram, people were like, especially this one, she was like, I caught my man cheating on me with some girl at the park, because it happens, So if your man or your girl is going to the park quite often, if she starts pulling up at the park that I go and run at, not my fault. But I want to thank you guys again, always for tuning into the episodes. I know I always try to make the episodes based on what we talk about a lot on the TikTok lives. So every Monday and Wednesday at 8 p.m., I do go live on my TikTok. I'm currently banned for hate speech. I don't know why. Like I literally talked zero. Like I wish I could have talked to somebody. I wish they could review my stuff. Instead, I was doing hate speech my last live. I was like, hate speech? What the fuck? Like I feel the hate speech from you guys telling me that I'm. But I get my live May 4th. So I'll be going live on my Instagram instead up until I get my TikTok live back. But anyways, definitely Mondays and Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Necklaces are being remade. And I should be getting them soon. And definitely go vote for us for the best podcast here in Idaho Falls. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on the next one. See you guys.